Federal Executive Council approves free train rides for Yuletide, effective 20th December 2024 to 5th January 2025.
There will be free train service to all Nigerians from the 20th up until the 5th of January.
Legislature eyes non-kinetic strategies to combat insecurity and terrorism in Nigeria.
By prioritizing friendly non-kinetic measures, we can achieve sustainable security solutions while reducing the economic strain.
Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning reabsorbs 3,200 school dropout girls in Kebbi.
I've been dreaming to go back to school, so I'm happy with this initiative.
Hello and welcome to the Network News on the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Hingino John Adams joins us from Lagos, and as usual in studio, Musa Abubakar has business updates. Musa, what's trending?
Nigeria's inflation hit 34.60% as equities markets settled in positive territory.
All right, Musa, we didn't quite see you, we just heard your voice. And Bade Adeleye is in the sports arena. Bade, the CAF award is ongoing, and who's winning?
Najatu is very much live, and that's live on NTA Sports. There's a win in the bag for Nigeria when it comes to Chiamaka Nnadozie being the goalkeeper of the year. But all eyes will be on the top prize, the men's award.
All right, we look forward to that, Badi. Thank you very much. And do remember that this broadcast is being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live, and across our YouTube channels. Do also follow us across social media. And now the news in detail. The Federal Executive Council has approved some amendments to the budget proposals for year 2025 to align with the 8-point Renewed Hope agenda. The approvals were made during the council meeting at the State House this Monday. State House correspondent Musbau Danwahab reports that the council also approved some projects to strengthen power transmission in the country.
Council members are rounding up the year with their last meeting for 2024. Here is to address some critical issues in preparation for the 2025 fiscal year. Following the directive of the President, some consequential adjustments have been made to the budget proposals, which now stands at 47.9 trillion naira. The projected revenue is 34.82 trillion naira. The deficit is 13.13 trillion naira, while the oil price benchmark remains as it is in the medium-term expenditure framework already approved by the National Assembly. Budget and Economic Planning Minister says these minor adjustments is intended to have meaningful impact on some key programs and projects of the administration.
It was designed to build on the advances in macroeconomic stability, security gains, infrastructure gains, human capital development effort, and creative industries, manufacturing, and all the measures that have been taken to expand economic activity, consumer credit, National Agricultural Development Fund, gas, CNG initiative, housing initiative, all of them intended to build economic activity.
The council took major steps in addressing disturbances in the power sector with an approval for transmission, upgrade and expansion. In the phase 1 of a presidential power initiative, otherwise known as the Siemens Power Project, 5 substations in Onitsha, Offa, Abeokuta, Ayede and Sokoto are to be upgraded at more than 161.3 million euros.
And we expect that this will further improve and stabilize the transmission segment of the power sector value chain in no distant future.
The federal government is sustaining its youth-led largesse as the council approved free train service across the country for a period of 2 weeks.
As we did last year, there will be free train service to all Nigerians from the 20th up until the 5th of January. Free train service nationwide. This is consistent with the President's desire to cushion the effect of transportation, especially to the most vulnerable Nigerians.
The council also honored former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, by renaming the University of Abuja after him. It is to be known as Yakubu Gowon University, Abuja.
This was Mr. President's motion, and this was moved in recognition of General Yakubu Gowon's contribution to the stability of our country in upholding our federalism and the profound development that the country witnessed under the administration of General Yakubu Gowon.
The National Assembly is to carry out the legislative necessities for its formalities. In a seeming vote of confidence as the year goes to an end, council members commended President Bola Tinubu for his stewardship of ship of state, while also promising their continuous support and loyalty to ensuring that the administration succeeds. From the State House, Musbao and Wahab, NTA News.
Thank you, Musbao, looking all patriotic. Still on approvals, President Bola Tinubu has approved new terms and conditions for officers and men of the Nigerian Armed Forces. The new regulation was signed at the meeting of the Armed Forces Council chaired by the President in the State House. The terms and conditions, which are usually reviewed at 5 years interval, was last reviewed in 2017. The Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, says this is in line with the administration's commitment to supporting officers and men of the armed forces to inspire them in their service of protecting the nation.
It will translate to more efficiency, more services, more welfare to the officers, and that will encourage them and improve their morale.
What it does again is the issues of promotion, the issue of welfare, looking at the health issues of remuneration of members of the armed forces, all captured in.
The Chief of Defense Staff also gave an update on successes recorded against the new terror group called Lakurawa.
I can tell the Lakurawas are on the run. They are on the run. We're after them and we're pursuing them all over. They have no breathing space. We're working together with the troops from Niger to ensure that they don't have where to hide. And we can assure Nigerians that members of the armed forces are on top of their game, and we'll continue to do that. All we require there is for Nigerians to continue to support the armed forces and the security agencies. You see something that is wrong, please don't hesitate to report, and action will be taken immediately.
Meanwhile, the Senate Committee on Defense says the improved appropriation for the sector is strategic for ensuring the security and economic development of the nation. Chairman, Senate Committee on Defense, Ahmad Lawan, highlighted this during the committee's oversight of defense agencies. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The oversight is to assess the 2024 budget performance of the agencies as security falls on the key area of priority for the country.
The security of lives and property are the focus of government, and in fact, there is no investment, no amount of investment that will be too much in the security of Nigeria today, because secure the country, every other thing will fall in place.
At the National Defense College, the Commandant, Rear Admiral Olumuyiwa Olotu, gave a timeline of financial performance of the college and its vision for the future.
The college is transformed into a university, and in the university we have various centers. Of course, we have the Center for Strategic Research and Studies, We're also going to have a new regular welfare center. We're going to have a technology and innovation center. We're going to have a defense language institute. We're going to have a defense simulation center. So all these centers will require buildings and accommodations.
The committee was also at the Defense Intelligence Agency, where senators were informed on acquisitions of platforms for improved synergy within the intelligence community.
These facilities are essential for providing robust communication capacity as well as geospatial intelligence support to our operations. The issue of pensions of fallen heroes dominated discourse between the committee and the management of the Military Pensions Board.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You keep hearing housing, accommodation.
I don't know how you are making adjustments for what you are paying to the 94,000 pensioners you have. The president now give some money, amount of money for them to be paid over 3 years, which we have been doing.
The Senate Committee on Defense restated commitments of governments to improve funding for the sector. Lami Ali, NTA News.
Still on the sector, the House of Representatives is pushing for a tilt towards diplomatic and cost-effective strategies in combating security challenges in the country rather than the use of force. Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, stated this at a workshop for security-based committees of the House on non-kinetic strategies to combat insecurity and terrorism in Nigeria. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikben reports.
Nigeria, like other nations, have committed huge resources, human and material, to combat various forms of terrorism and banditry in parts of the country. In the 2024 budget alone, 3.25 trillion naira was allocated to the defense and security sector, representing 12% of the national budget. This workshop for lawmakers in security-related House committees is to fashion out alternative and cost-effective strategies to combat insecurity.
Resources often diverted to combat insecurity could be more prudently invested in critical sectors such as education, healthcare and infrastructure, which are fundamental to national well-being. By prioritizing friendly non-kinetic measures, we can achieve sustainable security solutions while reducing the economic strain.
This includes fostering dialogue between communities and security forces.
Meanwhile, Parliament hosted youth groups to a town hall organized by the House of Representatives to get their inputs in the 2025 budget.
Why we want more budgetary allocation, higher one, to the education sector is that it's going to solve the problem of infrastructural decay in our institutions.
Almost all the youth activities, youth function, youth empowerment programs has been hijacked by sister ministries. Like the CNG bus is for young people, the ministry is supposed to champion that particular project.
We have a president that listens to us. We have a rep, speaker, that has shown himself to be a father.
Through legislation, oversight and appropriation, we ensure that the voices of all Nigerians, especially young people, are reflected in national policies and programs.
The town hall focused on youth-based budgeting that will generate economic hubs for youth empowerment. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
The Strategic Communications Interagency Policy Committee says operatives of the National Park Service arrested 621 criminals for various offences between January and October 2024. The Director, Legal Services Office of the National Security Advisor, Zakari Mechinyawa, stated this at an end-of-year press briefing organized by the committee under the Office of the National Security Advisor, stressing that the use of forests and national parks as hideouts by criminals has become a serious national security concern in the country.
Comprehensive overview of our collective efforts throughout the year 2024, highlighting key achievements and progress recorded across all sectors of our national security and emergency response.
The military has significantly diminished the fighting capabilities of these terrorists through our ongoing operations. I can assure you that the issues surrounding the Lakura hours will soon be a thing of the past.
Let us have a formidable force in Nigeria to work together to protect our common heritage called Nigeria. Let us protect the sovereignty of this country.
The Office of the National Security Advisor says parks like Kamuku, the Chad Basin and Kainji Lake have faced violent incursions threatening park management and surrounding communities. Vice President Kashim Shettima has arrived Mohammed bin Abdul Aziz International Airport in Medina, Saudi Arabia. The Deputy Governor of Medina, Abdul Muhsin bin Nayaf bin Hamid, and Consul General of Jeddah, Ambassador Muazzam Nayaya, and other diplomatic officials from the Nigerian embassy in Saudi Arabia received Vice President Shettima, who is in Medina, to visit the holy mosque of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the other holy sites. The Vice President will also visit Mecca, where he will perform the Lesser Hajj in the holy city. President Bola Tinubu has appointed 8 permanent secretaries in the Federal Civil Service to fill existing and impending vacancies in some states and geopolitical zones. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, describes the appointment as the second set of 8 permanent secretaries appointed by the President, following those appointed last June from Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, Jigawa, Ondo, Zamfara, the Southeast and South-South. The Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation recommended the new permanent secretaries be appointed after diligent selection. President Tinubu urges the new permanent secretaries to demonstrate greater commitment, diligence and innovation in serving the nation. You're watching, and my producer has just told me that Nigeria has won Best Footballer of the Year. I can't wait for Bade to let us know to give us details. And just a bit of it on air for you to see. A big win for Nigeria there. We'll bring you the details in the course of the bulletin. Congratulations, Nigeria. And now to legal and judiciary matters. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has dismissed an appeal filed by Hope Democratic Party presidential candidate in the 2023 presidential election, Ambrose Owuru, wherein he challenged the electoral victory of President Bola Tinubu. Dele Atumbi of our judiciary desk reports that this is the third time his appeal is being dismissed for lacking in merit.
In 2019, Ambrose Owuru filed a petition before the Presidential Election Petition Court challenging former President Muhammadu Buhari's victory in that year's election. Claiming that he won the poll, he based his petition on an alleged referendum purportedly conducted by Hope Democratic Party, HDP. The suit was dismissed by the different courts up to the Apex Court. The appeal court had even fined him 40 million naira when his matter was dismissed by the court. Not deterred, Ambrose Owuru filed a fresh appeal before the Supreme Court, claiming that he won the 2023 election and that President Bola Tinubu was ineligible to contest the 2023 election. When the matter came up in court, the 5-man panel of Supreme Court justices led by Justice Wani Abba Aji took exception to Owuru's appearance as counsel in his own matter, prompting him to address the court without his wig and gown. The court also taxed him on the lack of documents in support of his claims. This prompted his suit to be dismissed with 5 million naira cost in favor of the fourth defendant, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
We have made a good case and they have refused to hear us.
The The Apex Court said the lapses in Owuru's filings showed a flagrant abuse of the court process. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA.
Before we take the next report, we still want to celebrate Ademola Lookman for winning 2024 African Footballer of the Year in the men's category.
Extraordinary
Thank to all the winners. Thank you for inspiring us. You've made us.
Well done, Ademola and Team Nigeria. An indigenous oil production company, Oriental Energy Resources Limited, has unveiled a $315 million floating production, storage and offloading vessel to boost Nigeria's oil production capacity. Joy Ken Abakboya reports that the vessel, inaugurated in Dubai, is expected to depart for Nigeria and commence production at the Okwok field in the first quarter of 2025.
It's a great day to be a Nigerian.
The floating production, storage and offloading vessel named is fully funded and converted by Oriental Energy Resources. With a production capacity of 40,000 barrels of oil per day, the vessel is designed to augment Nigeria's energy production. Vice President Kashim Shettima described the FPSO vessel as a technological advancement that will transform the oil and gas sector, which is central to the nation's economic revitalization efforts.
This innate sense of foresight guides their conviction to invest in industries that drive the world forward. And I cannot be prouder to join you all in celebrating yet another example of Nigeria's gift to the global stage.
This is an important milestone for Nigeria and its indigenous oil and gas sector when operating at full capacity. We expect the Okwok field to produce up to 30,000 barrels per day, significantly enhancing Nigerians' oil production and contributing to the government ambitions to increase oil revenue fund Nigerian development.
Well, Oriental Energy is a fully indigenous company. It's Nigerian talent that was identified, that was attracted. It's Nigerian talent that is being nurtured, that is being motivated, that is being retained.
The FPSO, with a storage capacity of 1 million barrels, is expected to depart Dubai for Nigeria in the first quarter of 2025 and commence production of the Okwok oil field in the first half of 2025. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakboya, NTA News.
Still on petroleum matters, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu welcomes Shell and its partners' announcement of the final investment decision on the Bonga North deep offshore field. In a statement by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president says the landmark development, being Nigeria's first deep water oil project in more than a decade, underlines the transformative impact of the current administration's policies and reforms in attracting investments in the oil and gas sector. The Bonga North oil field, located 130 kilometers offshore in oil mining lease 118, represents an impressive estimated $5 billion investment and is expected to yield approximately 350 million barrels of crude oil. Shell holds the largest operational interest with 55%, while its other partners are the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, ExxonMobil, Total Energies and ENI. President Tinubu says the final investment decision signals renewed confidence in Nigeria's energy sector going forward. Ms. Ulu Arowolo Ferhain, Special Advisor to the President on Energy, also called the FID on the Bonga North issue a milestone. The Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Zephaniah Gisalo, says 86,846 Nigerians have benefited from the National Lottery Trust Fund programs, while 7 licenses and 29 betting permits have been issued to lottery operators by the National Lottery Regulatory Commission. The minister made this known while briefing the Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, when she led the Central Results Delivery Coordination Unit to interface with the ministry. Kenneth Nani reports.
Proper utilization of the National Lottery Trust Fund is part of deliverables for the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs. The Minister, Zephaniah Gisalo, says effort of the ministry in this sector has generated 241,180 direct and indirect jobs for Nigerians. The minister also has confirmed the verification and certification of 600 zonal intervention and constitutive projects and programs in the federal and senatorial districts nationwide. He also explains the ministry's commitment in monitoring compliance to 1% monthly allocation for training of local government staff and 5% monthly allocation to traditional rulers in 5 states.
I want to assure you I'm here to make sure that just policy are being implemented to the national.
We also want you to indicate the items that is not released that we do not perform, so that we're clear.
The Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, commended the ministry in areas it did well and encouraged more efforts to ensure attention is given to every sector of the ministry. The performance evaluation was an opportunity for a renewed commitment by the ministry to realign with the priority areas of the current administration towards achieving the set goals. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
On a lighter note, it's the season of love, and Christ's love for humanity, the true essence of his birth, shone through in songs and words when the State House held its annual service of 9 lessons and carols. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports that the service reenacted the joyful and colorful ambience surrounding the birth of Christ, with First Lady Oluremi Tinubu joining the choir.
It was a colorful evening of soul-lifting carols, interspersed with readings from the Bible, the songs telling of Christ's birth, while the lessons reminded the congregation of the virtues of love, humility and sacrifice, key essence of his birth. Top government functionaries from the 3 arms of government, former leaders, security chiefs, as well as members of the diplomatic corps joined Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu at the carols to sing praises in appreciation to God. The first lesson, taken from the book of Genesis chapter 3 verses 4 to 10, was read by former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, while Nigeria's First Lady read the 8th lesson from the book of Matthew chapter 2 verses 1 to 6.
And teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. In Bethlehem in Judea, they replied.
In a short exhortation titled, Let Brotherly Love Continue, the Vice President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Dr. Baba Panya, urged Nigerians to reflect the love of Christ in their attitude to other citizens and the country.
We conquered with weapons, but Christ conquered with love. So then, brethren, let brotherly love continue.
It is hardly a Christmas carol without the Merry Christmas song. So, the First Lady joined the choir for this one. From the conference center, Presidential Villa, Adini Taiwo, NTA News.
It's time to join Hingino in our Lagos Network Center for more on NTA News. Hingino.
Najaatu, and welcome to Lagos. Military training institutions across the country are to be strengthened with requisite capacity to handle the dynamics of security threats of a highly sophisticated and modernized era. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, speaking at the maiden combined graduation of Senior Leadership and Staff Officers Course 2 2024 and Logistics Management Course 22 2024 at the Nigerian Army College of Logistics Management, Lagos, assures that premium will be placed on development of the leadership prowess of officers to enable them have the desired impact in the theater of operations. Joel Gwola reports.
Logistics management and capacity building are among the bedrocks of the military command of the Chief of Army Staff. And instrumental to this are these 140 senior officers, among whom have 2 participants each from Nigerian Navy and Air Force officers, as well as from Malawian and Gambian armed forces who have successfully completed Senior Leadership Course and Staff Officers Course 2 2024 and the Logistics Management Course 22 2024. After 8 and 4 months of rigorous training for the courses, all the students have been found worthy of conferment of the highly revered certificate of the college. The most outstanding students in each course received special award for their efforts. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, urged the officers to make judicious use of the knowledge gained in the theater of operations.
You will be entrusted with the welfare of men in combat and non-combat environments. Remember that the hallmark of a great leader is the ability to inspire those under his or her command to achieve the desired goals. The Nigerian Army looks forward to harnessing your expertise in resource management and supply chain logistics for operational effectiveness.
Earlier, the Commandant Nigerian Army College of Logistics and Management, Major General Wisdom Etuk, noted that the scope of the institution has been expanded and operates in line with global best practice. For the special guest of honor, his visit to the college, which is a morale booster, is an assurance of more transformations expected to cut across the nation's military institutions. In Lagos, Joel Gwola, NTA News.
Nigeria Media Merit Award, in its tradition of honoring media leaders and personalities in the country, has organized this year's award, which is its 32nd year of celebrating and recognizing media personalities. Lanrebele reports that NTA's name wasn't missing on the list of winners in this year's edition.
The Nigeria Media Merit Award was created to be an independent national media award organization to stand for all stakeholders in the media community of Nigeria, being a pioneer media award with the aim to improve the standard of journalism that leaves a legacy that endures for the incoming generation. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, delivering the President's speech at the award ceremony, seeks the media's understanding of the President's renewed hope agenda.
The media is a very important tool for nation's development. It is almost indispensable for the survival of democracy. And so we urge all of them to keep the flag flying.
This year, 1,000 entries came in, where the best were chosen from nominees in different categories for the awards. NTA's Ihere John won the best in the category of news presentation.
It's going to spur me to do much more, to give in my best, and of course to strive to be better, you know. So this is a big win for me, and of course to the NTA family.
Very, very proud, very, very happy, excited, and I think all the efforts that we have been making has not gone in vain. People are beginning to recognize and also acknowledge the difference that we are trying to make in the authority.
Organizers of this prestigious award ceremony say the 32-year-old program will be sustained through mentorship and series of trainings and retraining on the ethos of the fourth estate of the realm. In Lagos, Lanre Beleyi, NTA News.
Congratulations to our dear Iyenre and the NTA family. Those are the reports from Lagos. Network News will continue in Abuja with Musa on the business segment after this break.
Now, thanks for being there. Let's now talk business. Nigeria's inflation rose to 34.60% in November 2024, up from 33.88% in October. Latest data by the National Bureau of Statistics showed this marks a year-on-year increase of 6.40 percentage points from 28.20% in November 2023. Food inflation surged to 39.93%, driven by rising prices of staples like yam, rice, maize, and oils. Urban inflation hit 37.10%, while rural inflation stood at 32.27%. Bauchi, Kebbi, and Anambra recorded the highest headline inflation, while Sokoto, Yobe, and Edo led in food inflation. The trend underscores persistent food price pressures and economic challenges. The equities market closed Monday's trading session in positive territory. The all-share index increased by 0.55% to close at 99,922.63 points. At the end of the first weekday of trading on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a total of 740.8 million shares in 10,430 deals, corresponding to a market value of 16.8 billion naira, were traded. Today's data shows 39% improvement in volume, 127% improvement in turnover, and 23% improvement in deals. Market capitalization increased to 60.6 trillion naira. Sterling Bank recorded the highest volume of 197 million traded shares, followed by Wema Bank, eTransact International, and Access Holdings. Well, that's a quick look at business news. The news continues after the break.
The president of the Association of African Private Universities, Professor Adamu Abubakar Gwarzo, has donated the sum of $100,000 to the Islamic University in Uganda. Professor Gwarzo announced the donation during the 33rd convocation of the university held at its main campus in Mbali. Shehu Adamu reports.
The president of the Association of African Private Universities, Professor Adamu Abubakar Gwarzo, is the founder of the conglomerate of Mariam Abacha American Universities of Kano, Nigeria, and Maradi, Niger Republic, as well as Franco-British International University, Kaduna, and Canadian University of Nigeria, Abuja. Professor Adamu Abubakar Gwarzo and his entourage were on official visit to Uganda for the 33rd convocation of the Islamic University. During the convocation, the Islamic University presented an award of excellence to Professor Adamu Gwarzo for his selfless service towards the development of the university and tertiary education at home and abroad.
So when you come here, you see different view, you see internationalization, you see socialization, you see quality assurance of higher education.
The staff and students of the Islamic University Uganda, who were overwhelmed with the $100,000 donation from Professor Gwarzo, describe him as a philanthropist who always keeps to his words. In Kano, Shehu Adamu, NTA News.
The ratio of girls dropping out of school in Kebbi State has been increasing since 2022. This ratio is about to make a downturn as 3,200 girls have been counseled and re-enrolled into various schools across the 21 local government areas of the state. The milestone is courtesy the Kebbi State Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning. Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa reports.
In 2022, available data revealed that approximately 67.2% of girls in Kebbi State were out of school. These alarming statistics necessitated the introduction of the Second Chance Education under Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, AGILE, which aims to increase girls' enrollment in schools across the 21 local government areas in the state. The initiative is expected to boost enrollment and retention.
I've been dreaming to go back to school, so I'm happy with this initiative.
In every center, we have what they are going to learn, and we have enumerated facilitators.
Hajia Zainab Nasare Idris is grateful for number of girls who have agreed to return back to classroom, and particularly grateful for incorporation of vocational skills training into the second chance program.
No dream is too big. Embrace this opportunity with both hands.
The expectation to see to the massive reduction in the level of out-of-school children, especially at the column of girl child in particular.
The low-key beneficiaries also received school bags, writing materials, and other empowerment tools. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Muhammad Bawa, NTA News.
A tragic event in Benue State where the police command has confirmed the death of some people in a boat mishap in River Benue over the weekend. Police Public Relations Officer of the command, SP Sewesi Aneni, says the incident happened when a canoe crossing with passengers from Ocholongya in Agatu local government area capsized at Odenyi in Nasarawa Toto local government area of Nasarawa State. The victims were mostly women and children who were returning home after their activities at the market. 6 bodies have so far been recovered and deposited at the mortuary, while 3 persons are still missing. The Nigeria Governors Forum commiserates with the people, the government and people of Benue State on the death of some people in a boat mishap in Agatu local government area. The forum also commends the emergency responders for rescuing 11 of the travelers alive. The governors, while commiserating with their colleague Governor Hyacinth Alia and the people of the state on the sad incident, beseech God Almighty for the repose of the souls of the departed. The forum calls on regulatory authorities to step up oversight and enforcement to prevent these recurring incidents, while urging citizens and boat operators to avoid night travel and to adhere to all safety protocols at all times. And next is Bade, and Bade has more good news concerning the CAF Awards. Isn't that right, Bade?
Very much correct, Najatu. Like you broke the news earlier, Nigeria's Ademola Lookman has been named the CAF Men's Player of the Year, and of course for 2024. And again, this will be the first time in about, almost 30 years. The last time it happened was, in 1996 and 1997 that, Nigerian players won it back-to-back after Victor Osimhen won it in 2023, and Ademola Lookman has now won it in 2024. And of course, not just that for Nigeria. Nigeria's Chiamaka Nnadozie, that's the goalkeeper for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, was named the goalkeeper of the year. And of course, the national team of the year in the women's category was Nigeria's Super Falcons. So 3 wins for Nigeria out of 6 nominations. Not a bad outing. But the biggest one was the African, footballer of the year, and Ademola Lookman won that. All right, let's quickly let you know when it comes to the 2024 WAFU Beyond the 17 Girls Cup as Nigeria defeated Cote d'Ivoire 3-2 in their last group match earlier today. Before that, they had defeated Nigeria Republic 9-0. That will be our beat when it comes to sports updates today. Let's now return to Nigeria, and evidently everyone is celebrating after the win by Ademola Lookman.
Indeed, Bade, 3 big wins. And on that winning note, we conclude the network news on NTA. Thanks for being a part of it. Do celebrate responsibly.